something you never can train for.
A commercial jet, barely recognizable.
And I said, well, where is it? He said, it's in a field up in Urbana.
After it collided with a small plane in midair, all 26 passengers on both planes lost their lives.
Your crazy first question is he dead?
50 years ago today, TWA Flight 553 collided with another plane in the sky over Urbana. This is still the deadliest crash in Ohio's history.
News Center 7's Lauren Clark talked with family members and airline reps still here in the Miami Valley. She has their story as we've never heard it before.
But he always used to tell my mom when he left the house, I'll be back to you whole, or I won't be back at all.
It took Vicki Matthews 40 years to come here.
I had a map. I had a little X on the map where it happened.
Her dad, Linwood Leonard,
he loved flying, absolutely loved flying.
Was one of 25 people on board TWA Flight 553. This is where it went down on March 9th, 1967.
And it kept changing, it kept changing. People were at the counter and saying, why can't you get us the information? What time is the flight actually coming in?
At Dayton International Airport, family members waited at the gate for loved ones who would never come. TWA spokespeople Carol Etzler and Ken Ringelsbaugh were left with the impossible task.
All of a sudden, the door flew open and some gentleman ran in and said, was that your airplane that crashed in Urbana?
Of searching for the right thing to say.
And I says, the folks that are meeting the flight, I'd like you to stay with me here.
Ringelsbaugh was not allowed to tell anyone what had happened. He took the family into a back room away from reporters.
There was a man in there, and when we got inside, he says, oh, I see you have a TV. Can I turn it on? That TV told us all. No survivors.
Flight 553, a DC-9, was descending into Dayton at the time of the crash. It was a cold winter's day with clear blue skies. Even so, the pilot had just 22 seconds to react by the time the small Beechcraft Baron appeared on his radar scope.
We're coming in on a visual flight, VFR, they call it. We're flying at probably about 2,000 feet because he's coming in on Vandalia real fast.
Flight 553 was coming in too fast, according to the NTSB investigation that followed. By the time both planes reached the ground, there was almost nothing left of them.
It used to hurt when you see the picture of all of the clothing hanging in the trees and things like that.
Matthews took me to Grimes Field, where her family built a memorial 10 years ago.
Several of these people were not supposed to be on this flight.
Her father was one of those people, the victim of a tragic series of events that were not supposed to happen that day. But now time allows her to remember it a little differently.
I think it's important for the future generations, basically, because, you know, my kids never knew my dad. And so obviously my grandkids don't know him, but they know him through me.
There were just 3 deputies on duty in Champaign County the day that plane went down. Tonight at 11, I'm talking to the former sheriff who at just 24 years old was one of the first to lay eyes on that gruesome scene. For now, Lauren Clark, News Center 7. TWA Flight 553 contributed to the Federal Aviation Administration's decision to create terminal control areas around busy airports. It also prompted new speed restrictions for pilots flying below 10,000 feet. We have much more coverage for you on WHIO.com on the 50th anniversary of this tragedy, including more of those archival images you just saw from our news partners, the Springfield News-Sun.